All right, we are live. 15 minutes till Pros vs. Joes starts. This isn't America's game, but again, I need to tell Eric to turn down his headset so it doesn't echo for me like it did every episode before America's game. But Eric, first time streaming since America's game was over. What's going on, man?
Not much. Same old shit. Just getting ready for the season, really.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you decided to join me on this Pros vs. Joes. I didn't really want to make this an event necessarily. This was literally just for anybody that subscribes or any patrons or whatnot. So this isn't like it's people could find it, but this is just my YouTube channel that I use for whatever. Right. So I just want to kind of talk through this because I think it's interesting to highlight the Warp with Mind Warp coming out in a couple days, or really Mind Warp's supposed to come out tomorrow. I actually have to get with Adam to make sure it is going to come out tomorrow, but it should be out tomorrow. Just wanted to kind of break down my strategy and just get your thoughts on it because you're familiar with FFPC. This is best ball. It's best ball slim. So, we're not talking like really super deep rosters either, right? So,
what was it, 20?
It's 20. No kickers, no defense. So, same format though. Start 8, just like regular best ball leagues are, and same tight end premium. It's the best ball format. So I'm just curious as to knowing that it's best ball, 20-man rosters. Normally we'd probably be pretty aggressive in punting running backs, right? Try to get quarterback advantage, tight end advantage, hammer the receivers, knowing you can fix it on waivers. That's a very popular way to play. But now that it's best ball, I'll tell you what my strategy is going to be. I'm picking in the 6th spot. So as you can see, I don't have the board up yet, but I'll share the board in just a second. But I'm picking in the 6th spot. So basically, I'm going to be right in the middle. I can see what the board looks like. I could build my team based on wherever the board is falling. So it's not like I have to pick on the end or whatever. Mm-hmm. So what are you thinking? Just knowing where things are, you have your own rankings that you have. What would be your strategy here, knowing it's 20 rounds, start 8, tight end premium, only 1.5, and no waivers, all best ball?
So kind of just looking at it as at being at the 6th spot and knowing what usually goes there, you're probably pretty much in the range of like Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce is what usually goes there. Based off of that, Kelce is the massive advantage just looking at the warp tool. From 1 to 2, it's almost it is like a full point difference. So, I think if Kelce's there, I think that's probably the smash. And then that allows you to be slim on the tight ends. You can maybe take one more tight end only and be fine there. And then you can load up with how many ever running backs, receivers you want, like nine receivers, 7 running backs, whatever it is. So that's one possibility.
Well, let me ask you this before you go any further. I'm going to eliminate the running backs and quarterbacks, or running backs and receivers, right? Okay. So clearly you can see where the elite quarterbacks and the elite tight ends have an advantage here, right? Now, this is depressed scoring. FFPC is only 4 point per passing touchdown. So the quarterback scoring, as you see, it's pretty nuked, right? It's the lowest scoring position across the board. Now, it's best ball. But, what does this tell you about? Doesn't it feel like it's a little bit of a bad bet to be drafting the Trevor Lawrences, those types? Unless you are very confident they're finishing top 5 or better. Yeah, it almost feels like you don't need to draft those mid-round QBs. You're either trying to get the positional advantages, stacks, or now the trade-off is if you go to the mid-round QBs, do you take 2 or do you take 3? But you can see how flat it is, right? Like there's no reason to draft Dak Prescott when you can get another quarterback 5 rounds later. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I would say if you're not getting the top 2 or 3 guys, like if your strategy's not to grab Mahomes and Herbert, something like that, then you're probably better off going the 3 quarterback strategy and taking 3 guys that you have a shot at getting a spike week every week. So if you take an Aaron Rodgers, a Dak Prescott, a Daniel Jones, you take all 3 of those guys, something like that. That would probably be my strategy if I'm not going with the super high quarterbacks.
Okay, so if you went Kelce, Mahomes as a start, would you only take 2 QBs?
Probably, yeah. And then
would you only take 2 tight ends?
Yeah, I think that's probably the strategy I would go. And I mean, your season's just whole season's based on Mahomes and Kelsey having their typical year. So if those two suck,
If
then
they flame out, it's over, right?
yeah, it's over anyway. So you might as well go that route.
All right, so let's bring in the receivers and the running backs. You can clearly see where receivers are across the board pretty much the dominant flex. And obviously in best ball, you don't have the ability to go to the waiver wire and pick up running backs as they start. So you do have to get, and this is what Mind Warped is kind of all about, is looking at these formats and figuring out, okay, how do I want to build my team based on the construction? But now you're in a draft where it is a 20-round draft. You have to decide where you want to take these guys, right? Like you still have to build the team the way you want, but you also have to navigate what's the best place to take the players based on that build. So I'm going to pull up the roster construction here. This is what it says is optimal for this format. 9 receivers, between 2 and 3 QBs, so we had that nailed. Between 3 and 4 quarterbacks, and 5 to 6 running backs. So obviously, if you take 2 QBs, you can probably add that other spot to a running back or receiver. Same with tight ends. Now here it says do not take 2 tight ends. Based on the warp here, because it's only 1 QB. So because there's 2 flexes and there's only 2 receivers, this is saying even if you take Kelsey, you don't want to only take 2 tight ends. So it's 2 tight ends or 3 tight ends, 2 quarterbacks, or it's 4 quarterbacks or 3 quarterbacks, 4 tight ends, which is going to leave your slim receivers and running backs too short, right? Because you're going to waste an extra spot on a running back or on a tight end or a quarterback. So for me, do you think I have to pick either 2 QBs or 3 QBs? And then if it's 3 QBs, only go 3 tight ends. Do you think I have to save 1 spot there? Or do you think you'd be willing to go 3 and 4, which limits the number of receivers and skill players you can take?
Yeah, I think you'd have to kind of decide, because I wouldn't want to have 3 quarterbacks and 4 tight ends. I think you got to kind of decide on what you have, especially if you have the top guy like Kelsey or Mahomes, and those guys are at worst, at top 3 at their position, probably maybe 1 and 1 again. I don't think you have to go that crazy and take 4 tight ends or anything like that.
So going back to the warp. If I don't get Kelsey, though. So basically, it's Kelsey and bust.
Yep.
I mean, I guess you could project Andrews or somebody to hit into this range. But, man, if you take Andrews, you're still passing up receivers that are in this range.
Yeah.
So it kind of feels like unless Andrews just falls in your lap, then he's probably not. It is Kelsey or bust. And
since you're picking in the middle, too, it's not like – you have the opportunity to get Andrews and then Lamar and stack it. Like, because you're in the middle, you don't know if Lamar would even come back to you.
No, usually he's going either before then or one of them's going before then. And if the person on an end at 2 or 3 will take Lamar and Andrews as a stack back to back. So, yeah, I'm probably not in the mix for Lamar or Andrews, because if I took Andrews at the 207, I'm not getting Lamar coming back. So, right. I think that's the breakdown. I mean, we obviously understand hammering receivers, drafting as many running backs that you think are going to have a role, and then deciding if you want to go 3 QBs or 2, or if you want to go 4 tight ends or 3. But it's interesting because you said take Kelsey and then not take another one, only 1 more. But obviously the data speaks differently. So I think because if you see the warp at tight end, if you don't get Kelsey, you almost have to take 4 tight ends.
Right.
And if you're going to have to take 4, I might as well just take 4 darts at the end. There's no reason for me to draft Dalton Schultz in the 9th round. You know what I mean? When I can get literally a guy in the 15th round that could be the same thing, and it's best ball. So I'm probably going to.
Mayer falls that late all the time. You can get him, and he could be just as good as Schultz.
Yeah, I think I'm leaning more towards if I can get one of the elite hammer QBs, I'll just punt tight end and end up with 4 tight ends. The question is, I don't want to end up with 4 tight ends and 3 quarterbacks, but
well, I know you've had some different strategies in the past. Are you wanting to go like quarterback round 2 and 3, something like that?
Yeah, well, in the past you could get better values on QBs. Now the elite ones are going. You might not even get the 2 elite ones at the top. You know what I mean? Like by round 3, the 3 elite ones, you're not going to be able to get 2 of them. So
yeah. But looking at my rankings too, like I'm super confident in like the top 6: Mahomes, Hurts, Allen, Burrow, Lamar, and I really like Justin Herbert this year. So I'm like super comfortable with any of those 6. If you could get 2 of those 6, I think that would be perfect.
Yeah, I mean, if you can draft a guy in round 3 or 4 that ends up in here, that's going to be very good relative to the rest of the field. It's not good relative to the other positions.
Right.
But yeah, that's the risk with taking Mahomes in the second round or Allen in the second round, because they better be here. Otherwise, you probably passed up a receiver that's got a really, top 6 ceiling. So I think it's hard to take those guys unless you have a very specific plan.
So if you don't get Kelsey, then let's say he goes at 4 or 5 or whatever, it's probably a receiver then?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, Chase, Kupp, and
Tyreek.
Jefferson will be gone, so I'll either get Tyreek, Diggs, Waddle. I mean, I'll be able to get a receiver in there. Lamb, Brown. Like, I'm just going to have to take a receiver, because I'm guessing McCaffrey will go. So I'm guessing Tyreek or Kupp will probably be there, just depending on when Kelsey goes.
Right.
But pretty good chance I'm staring at Kelsey. That's 6. There's a really good shot that he's there. So,
right.
All right. Well, that's good discussion. Let's get over to the actual draft room. And this is not going to be too much of like a production tonight. We're just going to kind of talk about the picks as they go. All right. I'm going to keep the warp chart up just in case.
Okay.
And the winner of this, so it is an 86 team or 84 team tournament. And you don't get anything if you win other than the old Jay Reed bragging rights. You get those bragging rights. You know that all important. Where do you stand on the all-time FFPC Pros vs. Joes ranks?
Too funny.
I mean, it's funny, but it's the truth, right?
It's important to him.
Yeah, shout out to Jay. Jay will be with me in Vegas doing all of our main events. Eric, I know we did an auction a couple years ago. I'm doing 2 auctions this year.
Nice. I'm going to be trying to, if I can, save up some money to maybe go next year. So,
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. We got to defend our auction title from 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I'm super excited for the auctions because I got into, basically I had the option of doing a couple main events or doing the $1,500 auctions. And yeah, someone in the chat said Kelsey won't be there. He went in the first. Yeah, he's probably not going to be there. It's probably going to be Tyreek or Kupp that I'm staring at.
That's what I'm thinking too.
So, but yeah, I'm excited to do the auctions because obviously in the main events, especially on Saturday, the main events are just going to be, by Friday, there's going to be a bunch of boards already done.
Yeah.
So like when the auctions are there, I'm going to be able to get different teams because we got our draft slots, and as a team, we're doing 10 drafts. So we're doing 10 main events or auctions, but we got a bunch of similar draft spots, a couple 9s, a couple 10s. So it's like
2 1s.
Yeah, 2 1. So I'm not going to get to diversify, or at least Jay's going to draft 5. I'm going to draft 5. He's not going to get to diversify without literally just picking different players. So the auctions, I'm going to be able to kind of build teams totally differently than you could in a stake, because the drafts get really tight out there. Like everyone sees the boards. You are out there. As you see more boards, you're like even more likely to kind of just continue to follow what you're seeing. So this will be different because I can literally build different teams. And I think the warp stuff will really help in an auction because honestly, how many people doing those FFPC auctions know warp?
Probably not very much.
You know what I mean? Like I'm going to literally be able to go, okay, in a start 8, you can't get 10 studs, but you know what I mean? Like we know the difference between player 13 and player 23, which is the third player on waivers. Like it's not that much according to the warp. So like I'm going to definitely be taking the all studs and duds approach.
Yeah, that's how me and you did it, and that's how we won. So
like elite QB, elite tight end, 4 stud receivers, and an anchor running back, and everything else like $2. $3. So,
Yep.
All right, we're getting ready to go. 8 seconds here. I will announce the picks. Everyone can follow there. It's also being streamed on like 3 other sites, so that you can see the draft board. It'll update pretty quickly. But yeah, here we go.
All right.
And there are 6 pros in here. Jared Small is in here at 110. Pat Crane's at 112. Josh Hayes is 108. JJ is at 102 or 104. And then Fantasy Alarm, Kevin Tompkins is at 102.
Yeah,
Jefferson, Kelsey, yep. McCaffrey.
So pretty much how we figured it: Chase, Cup, or Tyreek.
Yeah, it's going to be Cup or Tyreek.
And I'm happy with either of the two. I think they're both good. So
I think I'd break the tie with. I think I'd probably break the tie with Tyreek just because there's a better chance that I get a stack, and I think he has higher just like ceiling breaking upside. Bijan, man. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Tyreek.
Okay.
I'm going to go Tyreek. Boom. I don't know if you saw the report earlier. Tyreek was losing a step. Do you see that tweet?
No, I didn't.
Reports in camp, Tyreek was losing a step, and then you read why. He had too many drops. Like, what does drops have to do with losing a step?
Right.
Crazy. All right, so we got Tyreek on the board. Let me go.
So does that mean you kind of want to maybe target Tua later?
Yeah, Tua's like quarterback 12-ish.
You might be able to get Waddle on the way back here too.
Yeah, like 10.
Go double stack.
10 to 12, which means I'll probably have to take Tua at QB 10. Just to secure the bag, you know what I mean?
Right. Wow, Adams at 1-8. That's high for him. He's usually going like almost second round.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that you would take Adams over Diggs or Lamb, personally.
Yeah. I mean, me and you have talked about it. We're just kind of done taking these older guys. Yeah, I mean, there's exceptions. Like Kelsey's an exception. Adams is probably still an exception. But these guys over 30, I'm just kind of steering away from.
So Cooper Kupp, you out on Cooper Kupp this year?
No, I like Kupp. I think he's one of the exceptions, but there's very few exceptions.
Adams, Eckler, Diggs, 110. And I like this. This will be over in like an hour and a half or less because it's a 60-second clock.
Oh, yeah.
And it should go by pretty quickly. It's always nice to have this draft
Barkley
fly by. All right. Old favorite, 5-1 odds in here. Pat Kerrane.
Yeah, you have to tell me who he takes because the little thing's blocking it. The logo.
Oh, I can turn that logo off. People don't need to see the dumb Dynasty and Chill logo. Not dumb, but yeah, don't need to see it. AJ Brown.
Gotcha. AJ Brown. Okay, cool.
And we're going to get pick number 2. Guessing it's a receiver? CeeDee Lamb, maybe?
Yeah. It's pissing yellow. They gotta do it.
Waddle, CD, Garrett Wilson.
Someone like that, I would assume. I really like Amon-Ra this year, too. Wouldn't be shocked at Amon-Ra.
I mean, Amon-Ra, if no Waddle, Amon-Ra won't probably fall to me. I mean, there's a shot, but probably not.
Unless these guys that, go different and get a running back. That's the only hope.
Well, a couple running backs could go. Oh, there goes Amon-Ra. I was going to say quarterback could go. There's definitely pressure on the team to make sure Mahomes doesn't go to the Kelsey manager.
Yep.
CD. Ooh, your boy. You see who's drafting at the 111? A Joe at the 111. Mike Glucine.
Nice.
Yeah, your boy NFL Rough Draft.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah.
Nice.
They've been on Dynasty and Chill a couple times. Good dudes.
Yeah, they were great podcasts. I listen to them all the time.
Were those the Eric auto deletes?
Yes.
Oh, what a dick.
Yeah, I'm used to it. Ooh, Mark Andrews that high. That's interesting.
Yeah, 'Wow. I mean, Mahomes or Hurts. One of them's going to fall there.
Wow.
111. 111. Mike Glucine. Nice. Yeah, your boy NFL Rough Draft. Yeah. They've been on Dynasty and Chill a couple times. Good dudes. Were those the Eric auto deletes?
I'm used to it.
Mark Andrews that high. That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, Mahomes or Hurts. One of them's going to fall there. I love
Oh.
Gibbs. I think Gibbs is a top 5 running back this year.
Yeah, I have him way down on my rankings.
But yeah, you definitely wouldn't have taken him.
Not that high. Holy.
Man, I am tempted. It's fallen right in my lap to go with the Jalen Waddle Tyreek double stack. I think I'm going to hit it. I'm going to pass up the elite QB and gamble that one of Hurts or Allen comes back to me in round 3. Let's rip it.
Do it.
I've now put a target on my back to someone to reach on Tua. A couple picks.
Yep, and then in round 20, you can draft Skylar Thompson. You'll be just fine.
What happened to your boy Mike White?
He's gotten a little better, but it just looks like Skylar Thompson's just outplayed him. That's all.
Would you still take him over Zach Wilson, Mike White?
Probably, yeah.
I'm just joking with you. That was a major point of contention for you last year. Smitty, all right.
Chase and Smith, that's a nice start.
So we know the Kelsey manager will not let Mahomes get past 302, and I'm guessing the Smitty manager may go Hurts at 304. So,
right, he gives himself a chance at Burrow or Hurts. So that was interesting. He could have went Jamar and Higgins and got Burrow here.
He may be able to get Higgins on the way back because I think Olave will go. I think you could see maybe Derrick Henry go, and you could see definitely a quarterback or two go.
Right.
So he may get that shot at Higgins coming back, and then Burrow in round 4, potentially, if he doesn't get Hurts. Yep.
Kelsey Mahomes.
There it is. So that team right there is all in.
Yep.
All in on that.
And then, like we looked at the warp chart, if those two hit as number 1 and number 1 again, he's going to be one of the teams to beat.
I mean, yeah, that's one of those stacks that if it gives you 80% of what you project, that team's going to be in the mix. Now, I mean, this is best ball. It's all year, so it's essentially just a full year tournament, best ball. You know, there's no head-to-head or playoffs or anything like that. So the week 17 is important. I could also get, I mean, it's cumulative points, but obviously week 17 is the one where you want the blowout stack. So
right
there goes Jalen. Man, yep, sniped the Devontae Smith manager.
Yep. I mean, if Higgins goes to him, and then maybe with Burrow's injury news, he could get him at 4-9. I don't know. Could be close.
You got to think the Lamar manager may consider, or the Andrews manager may consider Lamar.
Yeah.
Just depending, because I think Lamar, you can justify Lamar at QB4 now with Burrow's injury. So if Burrow doesn't go to the Chase and Smitty manager, then I could see nobody else taking him. There goes Higgins. All right. Probably sniped that team that went McCaffrey, Henry.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel, do you feel, I know it's best ball, but do you feel, does it feel weird starting RB like we used to all the time in FFPC? Best ball is easier because it's best ball, but.
Especially when, okay, if I went like you with double receivers, and look who I could get in round 3. I can get Jonathan Taylor. I can get Josh Jacobs, Stevenson, Najee, Mixon, Breece Hall, ETN, Aaron Jones. The list goes on and on. Like, I'm in FFPC, I'm starting tight end, receiver, or 2 receivers. And then round 3 and 4, I'll get my running backs.
So here's a question for you. Why go Jonathan Taylor when you already have McCaffrey and Derrick Henry? Why take that unneeded risk? I mean, that team's going to go super slim at running back, I assume. Like, they're going to go 4 or 5 running backs. But if you know you're going to go that slim at running back, I guess you're really shooting for like the once in a blue moon outcome. But you know you're going to go slim at running back if you take 3 to start. Yeah. Would you really want one of them to be Jonathan Taylor? You know?
Yeah, probably not. I probably would have went. I mean, Jacobs, you can't really trust. My next ones up are Ramondre and Najee. So.
Well, I mean, he's probably only going to roster 4 or 5 running backs. So the next pick was Ramondre.
Yeah, you got to get creative with in the tournament like this. So I get it, but all right.
And I think I'm going to chase the warp. I think I'm going to take Joshua Allen here.
Okay, I don't hate it
because the running backs, they're kind of, unless I wanted to take Jacobs, which is risky. Receivers, receivers were down to like Metcalf, Keenan Allen, Amari Cooper. Like, it feels like they're There's just not blowout ceiling left at receiver. So I think I'm going Allen.
Yeah. I think Ridley was a really good pick. I would have maybe considered him there. I have Metcalf up there too, but I can't blame you for Josh Allen.
I mean, don't you think going down into the Judy, Amari, McLaurin, DJ Moore, all those guys are kind of almost the same for best ball?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I like that. That gives me flexibility of I can probably reach a little on Tua, right? And the other thing I like is Dawson Knox, cheap tight end. I'm probably going to go 4 tight ends like we talked about. If I got Allen and Tua, I'm probably going 4 tight ends. I got the interdivision potential correlation with the Bills and the Dolphins playing each other twice.
Yeah.
And I think I can stack, the Bills tight ends, maybe even Kincaid and Dawson Knox. Probably go Knox because he's way cheaper, but I like doing the 4 tight ends, and I like getting guys like Knox where he's going to have 4 good games and the rest of them are going to suck. You know what I mean? Like it's perfect to have that stack.
And nobody likes Gabe Davis anymore, so he falls into a range where he should have went last year, and in like round 7, 8-ish.
I love Gabe Davis.
Yeah, so I mean, you can
now,
get him
not last year.
You can get him at the right price now instead of last year's price. Let's see if they take Lamar here.
It is 30 seconds. No pick yet. Waiting. Lamar makes sense. Nope. DK.
Okay. I like DK too, so it's a good pick.
Keenan Allen.
That's another guy I have a lot lower than where he goes.
You do?
Yeah. I'm just not taking these over 30 guys. I don't think he's a difference maker.
Receivers are pretty pushed up here. The first 2 pros versus Joe's draft, Calvin Ridley went in the 4th.
Wow.
Amari Cooper went in the 4th. So you can just see certain rooms they get pushed up. So
yeah, I think the drum beat on Calvin Ridley is just getting louder and louder that he's just been dominant at camp so far.
Yeah,
so I think he's just going to keep moving up.
Those were 6 days ago and 7 days ago, and he's literally moved up a round since then.
Yeah, well, I mean, yesterday or today, actually, he was really good at camp. I guess he was just smoking. I think it was Tyson Campbell.
Interesting. Pat Kerrane on the board. Running backs are really, really flat at this point. I mean, you can buy some cheap touches with guys like ETN and Mixon. Yep, Breece Hall. All right.
Yeah, that's one that scares me with Dalvin going there. Like, if Dalvin goes there, he's not going to just, like, be a 5-6 touch guy,
You think Breece Hall has a chance in the second half of the year to smash, though?
Yeah, for sure, once he gets a little more healthier. But, man, at this price, though, why take that risk? And when I can have Najee Harris behind a better offensive line or Joe Mixon on a really good offense, and there's nobody behind Joe Mixon that's done anything in the NFL.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones is consistent as they come. Travis Etienne, he was pretty good last year. Should catch the ball a little bit more this year. Guys like that.
Ooh, he went Lamar. Very interesting. I wonder if that was I'm chasing ceiling at QB because it's really a dead spot right now.
Yeah.
Because it really is a dead spot at receiver too. I'm looking at the receivers, and I mean, you get down to Ayuk, Christian Kirk, like those are just hitting singles and doubles. You know what I mean? Like you just need enough of them. I mean, obviously I got to get that. Probably still want to hit that 9 number, but.
Yeah, I think there's a couple guys in there that could have some big seasons, but I get what you're saying. There's some guys that are probably just kind of flat. I mean, you could also consider just doubling up on quarterback here too.
Yeah, but I'm going Tua. Yeah, I think I'll probably go ETN or Najee if they're there.
Yeah, that goes mixed.
I mean, I don't love Najee, but there's a chance Najee gets a ton of touches.
I mean, he should. It's a better offense. He can catch the ball. He's proven that. I really like Najee this year, especially I was reading a thing yesterday about how the GM Tomlin and the owner got together this offseason and they talked about we want to get back to Steeler football and running the ball and doing that. So they obviously had to invest in the offensive line, and they got two pretty good workhorses, I think, to do it. So Hopkins, wow,
2 more picks. I can definitely see the team in front of me taking a running back.
Mhm.
It'll just depend on
So
what this team
is
wants to do.
Najee and ETN your top two?
I mean, there's receivers there. I mean, you got with Tim Patrick and Hamler both out. I could see Jerry Jeudy going. I can see McLaurin, Debo, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk. Like all these guys are going to go in the next round. So I think it's made my decision easy. I think by taking Najee. Yeah, I think I'll just lock in the touches. I don't love Najee, but I think after him, you start to get where people are going to start reaching on some of the running backs like Dobbins, Ken Walker, Madison. I'd rather wait, take Montgomery, Swift, James Conner, Rashad. I mean, I like having the anchor. I'll go Najee.
Yeah, no, I like that pick. He's just proven that he can handle the workloads. He's going to be healthier off of the foot this year too. So,
let's stare at this board. So, with the Najee pick, I'm probably going to go with back to the tool. There's the construction. I'm probably going to end up taking 6 running backs just because I did go receiver, quarterback. But we'll see. We'll see where the value goes because I'm literally looking at the receiver list right now. And I mean, even down to like JSN, Pickens, Pittman, Hollywood, Lockett. Like it just feels like there's only a couple guys I think could be have a top 12 season. And that's even squinting and saying like DJ Moore could finish top 12 or Terry McLaurin could finish top 12. Like they've both gotten really close before, but Justin Fields round 4. What do you think about that?
I've seen him just keep creeping up higher and higher. So it goes with what's going on in drafts right now, but I don't feel comfortable with it personally. The one I was going to bring up to you is, I think one of the warp difference makers that still could be there is Darren Waller.
Yeah.
I think if you could maybe snag him, that would be a good one.
And the other thing about Waller is if for some reason I got sniped on Tua, I could take Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones actually goes like a half a round or a round lower than Tua in these drafts for some reason.
Right. So that would be one to maybe consider on the way back here because I would assume Kittle will probably go before him too. So
yeah, it's interesting. You have Kittle above Waller. Have you rethink that one a little bit?
Yeah, I was updating him earlier, and I probably should make that move. Yeah.
I mean, aren't they kind of the same thing? They're both a little older. I mean, Kittle's a couple years younger than Waller, but doesn't it feel like they're the kind of same type of bet? They just got to stay healthy.
Yeah, pretty much. And Waller is the number one option there, whereas Kittle has to go through Ayuk and Debo and McCaffrey. So, yeah, I probably should make that move.
And it's crazy. I want to get you to admit this on air that you probably trust the Giants QBs and offense a little bit more than the Niners right now.
I wouldn't say that. I think I still trust the Niners. I think Purdy will be fine, and they got all those weapons, man. The Giants' weapons, it's Waller, Barkley, and I don't know what the hell after that.
A bunch of dudes. It's a best ball team, like Brandon says. It's a best ball team. The best ball Giants.
Yeah. I mean, Jalen Hyatt's been doing really good, so I think he's going to have a role. So we'll see.
Well, running backs coming back to me. I mean, it's 2 injured guys. You got Miles Sanders. I kind of like Miles Sanders. There goes Waller, so that's out.
Yep. I do like Miles Sanders as well. He's going to have a 3-down role there, and I don't think they really trust Chuba and Blackshear. So, how about this one? Joe Burrow still sitting there. Would you consider him?
No, just because I think I'm probably looking either receiver, Christian Kirk, running back, Miles Sanders. What do you think? Because all the running backs are the same. We're starting to get into Aaron Jones, Miles Sanders, Madison. It really comes down to I want to pass on the receivers here. Like it's probably
Right.
Christian Kirk.
I think.
And then.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think the last warp difference maker tight end is Kittle. I think after that is just dog shit. I like Ayuk a lot. I have Ayuk as my top receiver left over Kirk and those guys. Miles Sanders is really good. We just talked about him as well. So.
You know what? I like Ayuk too. I'm going to go Ayuk.
Okay.
And I'm going to gamble because I think someone may take... No, seeing what's on the behind me, I have Jacobs, Barkley, Mixon, Chubb. Like I have two teams already with two running backs, right? I know I have Pat Kerrane on the end. I'm guessing he's taking at least a receiver, if not two.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to gamble that maybe only three more backs come off the board. Someone might take Miles Sanders, but if that leaves me with David Montgomery or Damian Pierce, I'm okay with it. I think they're kind of all the same thing. So I think that was the right move to take a receiver because I bet you there's going to be 5 or 6 receivers taken before I pick again. Mm-hmm. So I agree.
Okay.
There you go. Dynasty Barry, our boy.
There you go.
Said the same thing. Miles may be better next round.
And there goes that pipe dream.
It's all right.
I do like Mike Williams, too, because I really think Herbert's going to have a big year. So Mike Williams is another guy I like. I mean, I still like Christian Kirk, but I think he's definitely going to fall to, like, the second in the pecking order there.
So you know who's moved up like a round and a half since the first Pros vs. Joes?
Probably Jason.
Jackson Smith and Jigba. Would you consider him?
Yes. I think
and that gives me if I get sniped on Tua, that gives me a Geno Smith shot too.
Yeah. Imagine saying that last year in this league. Oh, I got a shot at Geno Smith.
I mean, are you to the point where you're almost, if you're in a league like this where you're trying to win a non-waiver tournament, are you going JSN over Lockett?
Yeah, I think so.
You got Lockett ahead of JSN in your ranks.
Yeah.
But if you were on the clock, you'd probably take JSN, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I moved JSN actually up quite a bit today, so I didn't move him up enough, I don't think. I probably got to adjust that a little bit.
There's the winning snack right there. That's Team 10. Snatch the Joe Burrow, Joe Mixon stack.
I mean, Burrow fell too far, so.
Yeah. The first draft in Pros vs. Joes, he went in round 4. And the second one, he went at the 402. So, yeah, this person got him at the 510. So, definitely nice value. Let's see what old Pat Kerrane does here. I'm guessing it's going to be at least a receiver, if not 2 of them.
Yeah, I was going to say double receiver.
Yeah, see, I think if I'm drafting now, I mean, did you see the report today? Burrow was walking around in the sleeve.
Yes.
They said he wasn't limping. Now, it doesn't mean he's ready to play, but I think this projecting him to miss week 1, that's 6 weeks away. You know what I mean?
I think he'll be fine for week 1, but he's not going to see a preseason snap. He's not going to be out there for any games.
He wasn't going to see one anyway.
Exactly. So, yeah, I'm not worried about Burrow. I'll take him exactly where I have him still.
Yeah, I mean, he was, QB 8 in this draft? No, QB 7, but he still went at 5'10". So, look at that. JSN to old Pat Kerrane at the turn. It's round 6.
Good call.
Right?
Addison's been getting pumped up a little bit lately, too.
Wow, Trevor Lawrence. Here we go.
Yeah. I like Lawrence this year, too, man. I think, would it shock you if Trevor Lawrence won the MVP this year?
Yes.
Interesting. I don't think it would shock me.
MVP, yes. That's hard to win the MVP, Eric. Very hard.
It is.
This is NFL football.
I think he could have that 40 touchdown, almost 5,000 yard season with the amount of weapons they got. I think it's possible.
Let's see. I'm 5 picks away or 4 picks away. This team might be looking running back. Then we're probably going to see a couple receivers. So I think Christian Kirk's a pipe dream at this point. Value's probably going to be running back, honestly.
I was gonna say Pierce would probably be one of my
I
top guys.
am I crazy for liking David Montgomery here?
No, I have him right here. Like Swift has only been getting receiving work. Like it's been all Penny doing the rushing work. So I could see that. Madison,
Evan Ingram. There we go.
yeah, they're jumping up high on those tight ends. And then I have Dobbins a little higher. I do like Dobbins still, but you never know what this contract's like, and he went anyways.
I think if you think Lawrence can win the MVP, I think you got to go Christian Kirk here.
Yeah, I think you wanted him last round. Yeah, go Christian Kirk.
Yeah, Dobbins. I don't love the Dobbins pick there. I would have with that team with how they're built. I would not have taken Dobbins.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think Ingram and I like Ingram, but I think you're drafting him basically at what he is. You know, if he's going to be tight end 6, tight end 5, but I'm good with that. Getting Christian Kirk and Brandon Ayuk coming back when I went 2 straight non receivers in this room.
Where you said you thought 5 receivers, maybe 6 would go, and only 4 went. So you got lucky there.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm looking at the first board. We had
Pickens.
Yeah, we had Pickens. Fell all the way. Pickens, JSN. These guys were going in round 7, middle round 7. So like this draft, looking at these other 2 P versus J drafts, the receivers are getting pushed up around. I mean, look at that run.
Yeah, they're just getting eaten up now.
Which is good.
And some of them I don't even like. Like, you can have Hollywood Brown. Go ahead. You can have George Pickens.
You like Michael Pittman? Based on your ranks, you don't really like Michael Pittman.
No, I sunk him down quite a bit today.
You don't buy the old that's JJ at pick 4 that's gone 5 receivers.
Mm-hmm.
Chase, Devontae, Ramondre, but then he went Drake London and Deontay Johnson. So there goes Pittman. They're running them.
Yeah. Which is good for you. You already have 4, so it's not like you're dying for one, you know?
Yep.
And the ones that you like are still there. Like Gabe Davis is still there. If you wanted like an Addison, I really like Zay Flowers. I really like Elijah Moore.
Well, I'm getting to the point where, you know, obviously I have to count the quarterbacks. 2 is probably quarterback 9 or 10. And Dalton Kincaid is probably tight end 10 to 12. If I wanted to consider Kincaid, you know what I mean?
Right.
Would you consider Kincaid? It'd be ironic if I won Pros vs. Joes with how much I've shit on Kincaid.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't blame you for it, no.
Would you go Knox and Kincaid on the same team? That's probably guaranteeing me like 6 good games at least, isn't it?
I would think so, yeah. And then you could still get like
Hunter Henry and Noah Fant or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people are on the Jake Ferguson one right now because Shoemaker isn't practicing, and he's still going to probably be out another couple weeks. I think with Shoemaker, it's going to be probably a lost season.
Dude,
I asked Ferguson should be the guy.
I asked Ray today if he was getting worried about Schoonmaker, and like, dude, he's a rookie. He's 25 and he can't even practice. Like, it's getting close to.
He has plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, he has a foot injury. He's getting close to. Like, it's almost a redshirt year, right? Like almost a 0 if he doesn't get out there quickly.
Yeah, and Ferguson has been doing nothing but good things so far, and he proved that last year too. So yeah, I mean, that's another guy that I like. You know, we were talking about the rookie tight ends, like Laporta goes higher, and Kincaid obviously go higher, but Mayer does not go high at all. Like, I've been getting him constantly, like round 18. And it doesn't make any sense to me.
Run of running backs there. Monty, Rashad White.
Addison.
I think I do have to consider a running back here.
I mean, who do you think would have the most warp upside? Madison's probably your best bet as like a 3-down banger. Swift with the receiving upside. I mean, Dalvin Cook, if he was on a team, Dalvin Cook would have been gone by now.
I don't mind taking a shot on Dalvin Cook even if he's going to be on the Jets. I mean, he's going to either be on the Jets or the Patriots. It sounds like, but maybe there's a long shot and he hits. You know, he hits the Dolphins. He hits the Dolphins. He would have gone 2 rounds ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take Dalvin Cook over Cam Akers 100 times.
Yeah, receivers.
Dotson.
Yeah, Gabe Davis. I'm going to have to gamble that Gabe Davis comes back to me. I think I got to go at running back. It's just kind of deciding which one do I want to take.
Yeah, I mean, Madison's set up for a good role. Swift is probably just going to be the receiving back. Dalvin is way too talented to be down here. I mean, James Conner's just on a bad offense. Javonte Williams, we probably just don't trust. Kamara's still there.
Yeah, Dalvin, I think, will fall just because he's not on a team.
Right.
You know what? I don't even like Madison, but he's kind of an unsexy version. He's been going in round 4, round 5. So I'll just take the gamble. I haven't really heard anything about the Vikings going and signing anybody big.
No, I haven't either.
So I'll just take Madison. I don't love it, but he's been going in, and he's pretty much been going like round 5 in these drafts.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you literally still have Dalvin, Javonte, Kamara.
Tight ends.
Yep. I don't. You know why I don't like that? Because I think you're just taking him to take him. Like you're not sniping. Like if I would have wanted Pat Fryermuth, I could have got him. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you weren't really sniping me by taking him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't love it.
And 2 wide receivers in best ball only so far. It's just a little scary with the way these guys eat them up.
That's betting that I'm going to flex the tight ends for sure. You take 3 that early, you're A, betting you're going to flex them, but B, you're trying to push the board a little bit. Obviously, I don't even know who that is at the 107. Let me look and see who's at the 107. Ooh.
It's got to be a Joe, I think, right?
It is a Joe. It's every other pick is a Joe. It's I don't know. I have to actually go to the overlay and see it. I don't know who it is. Oh, I can see. It's Daniel Cups. I don't know him.
That's a good value on Watson in round 7.
So QB8. This is close to Tua range.
Yep.
Tua, Dak, Daniel Jones. That's usually the next 3.
Yeah. I have Tua next on my rankings, so.
But everybody in front of me has a quarterback except for the team that is picking before me, and he's got 3 tight ends. So it's almost unpredictable what he's going to do.
I could just see him doing it just to do it, because he's. I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
I mean, I think if I want to go, I think I got to go with the Tua stack here because I think the Fields manager could take another QB, and then the teams after me that don't have QBs definitely could because like there's no obvious stack with the team that has Smith and Jamar Chase because their quarterbacks are gone, and then I don't think anybody's stacking Deebo Samuel or Marquise Brown. So maybe the team that has Waller could take Daniel Jones. But don't you think there's a decent chance Tua's gone if I don't take him here? I mean, if he goes, he goes. But I don't know if he comes back to me. So I don't want to take him in round 8 because another draft he went in round 9. This one I'm looking at, he went right around this range. So it's probably either between Gabe Davis and Tua, quite frankly, would be my next couple picks.
Yep.
And Dalvin Cook is sitting out there just as like, dude, if he pivots and goes to Miami, he could be a top 8 running back. Yeah. Everyone's thinking New England or the Jets where he's going to be there with another top 8 running back himself. You know what I mean? But if he goes to Miami, like couldn't you see him smashing in Miami? Like he could be the guy by like week 5.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's still a possibility that he could just go back to Minnesota on a cheap deal too.
Maybe. Well, it sounds like he wants, the reason he hasn't signed with the Jets is he wants 3-year, $30 million. The Jets are offering him 1 year, $5 million. So I don't think he goes back to Minnesota because they cut him making less than what he's asking for. So
right.
I just don't see it. Okay, thank you, Pat Carrain, made the Gabe Davis pick less worrisome. Okay, Javonte. It's probably going to come down to Dalvin and Tua.
Yeah, and I think you can consider Kincaid too.
You know what? Once you get to this range, you're looking at Higby, Schultz. I mean, yeah, Kincaid's probably coming off the board in another pick.
Yeah,
But
maybe the guy behind you take a fourth tight end.
Well, I'm gonna get. Well, we'll see. Maybe he takes a tight end here just to be a complete dick. You never know.
Yeah, he only took his tight ends after you had picked, so it's not like he sniped you like going in each time. So
the Kittle pick I understand, okay, because Kittle fell a little bit. You know what I mean? Like Waller and Kittle fell into the fifth, but the Freiermuth pick, that's the one that baffled me.
Yeah, I agree.
That one was one where I think everybody was like, okay, if you wanted Freiermuth, you would have already taken him. Like that's not one you were necessarily sniping somebody, but we'll see. Pacheco, man,
it's good value in round 8.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at all these running backs from like round 6, 7, 8 that you can get. So if you start off 4 receivers and a tight end, like look at these running backs you can get in round 6, 7, 8 and be just fine.
Barry.
Ooh, Barry's not high on Madison.
Barry don't like my Madison share. Hit me, Barry. Why don't you like it? I'm just trying to buy touches. I don't like Madison either, for the record. I do not like him.
I mean, Swift is scary too. I think he's just going to be strictly a receiving back, and they just don't throw the ball to running back.
They don't throw it at. They don't throw it at receivers. The reason I like Madison only because he's on a good offense. I get it. It's just buying touches for a bad player, but he's on a good offense, so we'll see. Burks.
Yeah, I think Tua's the pick.
Yep. Dalvin's still there, but I'm gonna hit the stack in Tua.
Yeah.
No, I gotta go to the Tua well because I took Waddle and Tyreek. Yep. First team with 2 QBs, and we are done. I can cross the QBs off of the list. You can hide that entire QB list.
Yep. Wow, Sky Moore. Now, if there's some more receivers that come back to you here, there's definitely a few that I like. Kamara's still there. Cook is still there. If one of those come back. Jamal Williams I still like too. And then the tight ends that we kind of talked about.
I see Koopa says I don't think he'll give him a Cook-like workload. I agree with you there. He's not Dalvin Cook.
He just has a lot of unproven guys behind him, though, too. So it's not like...
The only thing I'll say is he did get decent money relative to the market. He was the 4th highest paid running back on the market. So it's not like they signed him to a 1-year, $2 million deal. You know, like he didn't get the Damian Harris or the Deontay Foreman deal. Like he got a decent amount of money. And I think the Vikings, I mean, there's a reason they didn't even bother to restructure Cook. Like we don't know what they actually asked him to do, but like it feels like they're willing to. Doesn't it feel like the Vikings with some of the moves they've made that they're kind of willing to just, they're only going to deal with you if they can get you on a deal. Like they're kind of willing to punt this year. Like they're not fully committed to a direction, but if they end up being good, then they can roll with it. Yeah. It's kind of like a dynasty team that's in the middle of the pack.
Right.
And you don't want to trade your picks away, but you also don't want to commit to tanking either. Perry says he would have gone Gabe over Madison. Just kept leaning into it. I get that.
I just think a lot of these receivers here that you can still get here are the same as Gabe. I mean, yeah, you have Josh Allen. I get that.
I mean, I got to say, you like Cortland Sutton a little bit more now that Patrick's out of the way?
Yeah.
You got to move him up a little bit, don't you?
Yep. I mean, Juju's going to be the number 1 there for the Patriots. He's clearly been the number 1 at camp, and it's not even close. Michael Thomas is finally actually healthy. Like, that's a guy that could be a warp difference maker. Zay Flowers just went, so that sucks. I really like Zay Flowers.
You like J-Mo?
No, I moved him down. Just suspension.
You loved him, but it seems like every day he just does something bad.
Yeah, I mean, I still really like him as a player. I mean, I got him on quite a few teams. I'm not giving up on him, but it just kind of looks like I
So
don't
what are you
want to say
doing?
lost
Let's talk a
season.
little dynasty real quick. What are you doing dynasty with JMO? You can't still dig your heels in. Would you take Sky Moore over him?
Yeah, I'd probably take Sky Moore now. Yeah.
Rasheed Rice over him?
Yeah. My only thing is I don't know if people would be giving if you have Rasheed Rice or Sky Moore, are you giving him for JMO? I don't know if people are doing that.
I think it's just preference there. But no.
Yeah.
Give me the guy that's not getting in fights and is suspended. Give me the guy that's on the Chiefs and it's not, you know?
Right. Wow, Samaje P. Ryan over Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, if Dalvin
And
comes back
Kamara.
to me, I'm taking the risk on Dalvin. That can make up for the Madison pick.
Yeah. And I was gonna say Kamara too, but he just went. Yeah, Dalvin in round 9, that's a smash.
Michael
There goes
Thomas.
my
You like
Debo.
that receiver room? Quentin Johnston, Marquise Brown, Debo Samuel, Michael Thomas.
No, there's some names there that I don't really care for that much. Dulcich.
AJ Dillon just passed Dalvin. We're taking Dalvin here.
Yeah, I think that's a great pick.
He's been going round 9, round 10.
Yep.
So given where the running backs have been going off the board here, I mean, really Antonio Gibson, Rashad Penny. That's pretty much the next range. Unless, I mean, the receivers, I guess it would be Sutton, Juju. You know what? I'm going to take Dalvin. Let's lock it in.
I think Dalvin's a good one because there's a whole gaggle of wide receivers here, and they're all the same, and I'm happy with any of them.
Boom. If that happens, I'm sitting pretty with that Madison Dalvin stack, right?
Yeah, and if they, like you said, if he goes back to the Vikings, there you go. Kirk Cousins.
Wow, Kirk Cousins over Daniel Jones and Dak Prescott without a stack.
Yeah. That's
Oh, you know what? He has Hawkinson.
Oh, okay.
He has Hawkinson.
Yeah.
So he spent all of that time just to get that Hawkinson Cousins stack.
Yeah. I like Kirk Cousins this year. I mean, he's just super consistent, man.
Mm-hmm.
There goes Sutton. That was a good call.
See if we get any teams doubling up on QB here.
Yeah, it'd be nice for you, for sure.
If we see the CD or Cooks manager here take a QB, Dak, Daniel Jones could come back around.
Yeah, this guy could go Geno with the DK.
Yep. Pat Kerrane on the end could go Goff or Geno. There it is, Dak. Dak with Cooks.
Yep.
Higbee.
And that's just good for you. Let these guys take more quarterbacks. More guys are going to fall to you here. I mean,
You trust Tyler Higbee, Eric?
Yes, I like him a lot this year. He's like one of these tight ends I can get in like round 8, 9, 10. Yeah. I like him, and I like Schultz a lot.
Okay.
I think for your build, though, to get Kincaid here would be nice.
Yeah, I'm taking. I have 3 players in my queue. One of them is Antonio or Rashad Penny.
Yep.
And one of them is Kincaid. Receivers, it really kind of drops off, but you get guys like. I know we both like them. Honestly, I think the best receiver that's sitting out there is Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, I like Jacoby. He's been solid. Lazard's with Rodgers, so that's a good one.
I think you can get receivers. You can get like a bunch of guys on good offenses that you can get later if you wanted. I think with how I build, I can take more darts at the end. I'd rather focus on getting some tight ends and a couple more running backs.
Yeah, I really like Nico Collins this year. That's another one that he's still a number 1 receiver on that team. That's going to have to throw a little bit.
Risky. What do you think about A Chain?
For best ball, I like him. For lineup,
I mean, I
no.
got the Tua Dolphin stack.
Yeah, that's true. So that wouldn't be another bad one. I think he can. I think I would definitely go Kincaid here first. But if he came back, I mean, because I like Jamal Williams. I like Charbonnet. I like Penny. I like McKinnon. I like Bigsby before A Chain.
Let's see.
Anthony Richardson, Nico Collins.
I wish Koopa, but he already went. He went 8-9. 2 picks after I took Tua.
There goes Jamal.
Yeah, this other board I'm looking at thus far.
Wow.
Brock Purdy. Wow, sniped that team that was going to double up on the Kittle stack. Man, I can't believe I'm advocating to do it, but Penny and Kincaid were the two in my queue.
Yeah.
You think I go Kincaid here?
Yeah, I think so. You take
this
the
is
risk.
about where he goes. He goes right around Higbee and Schultz.
And everything's just sounds great at camp. So maybe we're wrong, and he is going to have a really good year.
I don't know if we're wrong. I think it's more of what we expect in lineup leagues versus best ball is totally different. Like I'm not out on Kincaid. I'm not out on anybody in best ball. How can you? You don't have to ever sit and start them. You know what I mean?
True. Yep.
So I think with the way the way my team's built, locking him in.
Oh. And all these guys behind you have one tight end. A couple of them have no quarterbacks. So I think we might see some tight ends and quarterbacks here before you pick again.
Well, we got the tight end whisperer, Andrew Cooper, on the clock here. At 102. Now, this is JJ, but at 102, he's got Kelsey, so I could have seen him maybe taking one more tight end, and that's it. Kyle's right. If you're ever going to take Josh Allen, it's on a Kincaid team. Guess what? I'm also going to take Kincaid on a team where I didn't have to pay for my buy-in, and it's best ball, so I don't really care. I mean, I care, but I don't. I think I've only finished. This is my 6th Pros vs. Joes, and I've only finished in the top 2 once. So you know what? This is just one of those where it's like, let's let it rip.
Yeah. You've kind of always been that with these. You just kind of just go for the highest boom. And
it's all in or it's broke. Last year I finished like 9th. It was train wrecked from the get go.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones, there you go. That Waller team got Jones to fall back. That's nice value on Jones. I don't know about Brock Purdy over Daniel Jones.
I have warmed up to Daniel Jones, and then I was watching NFL Network's training camp stuff this weekend, and they put up his stats from last year, and I didn't realize he only threw 15 touchdown passes.
Yeah, he don't throw TDs.
Like
he's probably going to throw 20, 25 max.
Yeah, his rushing was great and all that, and then I saw 15 passing touchdowns, and I'm like, Jesus, like Mahomes has that in like a month.
Mm-hmm.
That's just scary to me.
So how far do you let Zach Charbonnet fall?
Not that much farther.
Because I mean, here's the thing: everyone's letting him fall because he's injured, but Kenneth Walker's also injured, so it's like they almost. If they're both going to fall 2 or 3 rounds, aren't you kind of getting a better?
I mean, I think it's like a Ken or an AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones situation. Like, they can both put up good numbers, and you're getting.
But what if Kenny McIntosh is the passing downs back because he's great at it?
Then the Seahawks are terrible.
He's the Travis Homer, DJ Dallas, where you look up and he's playing 15 snaps every week as the 3rd running back.
I could see it. Seattle's done it before.
Yeah, Seattle does not care about fantasy, do they? No. Remember how much they'd always play Travis Homer randomly?
Right. Yeah.
But he's not a contributor for fantasy. All right, so 2 QBs. Yeah, JJ definitely living up to the late round QB. All right, let's play in the next pick. I got a couple running backs. I mean, I know it's handcuffing, but I don't mind Jaylen Warren. I don't love handcuffing in tournaments like this. I kind of wish I wouldn't have taken Najee for that reason, because Jalen Warren's pretty good value in the 11th.
Rasheed Rice.
Where you at on Kendre? You still biased?
I still like him a lot. I just think it's going to be probably not till like the second half, maybe. I mean, I think Jamal's going to be early on really the hammer. If Kamara's out for whatever 4 weeks, Kamara's still going to get used. But I mean, for this late, it's not bad to take Kendre with his talent.
Dalton Schultz is still sitting out there.
Yeah,
and going in the 9th and 10th.
With the way these guys love Chigakonkwo, I'm surprised he hasn't gone yet.
I think Chigakonkwo love isn't real. It's fake.
It's not some of the best balls I've done, man. He goes high.
Receivers. Man, Jacoby is still there. I kind of like Jacoby.
Yeah, Juju's there. He's the number 1 on the Patriots.
Whoa, holy QB run here.
Yeah, I knew it was coming. And that was his first quarterback's Aaron Rodgers, so that's not bad. And you're up next. So, yeah, I mean, Jacoby or Juju for you, I think it'd be a good pick. If you wanted to go with a second tight end, Schultz, Charbonnet, Bigsby, I like both of those.
Whoa, holy QB run.
Wow.
Man, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Left me a lot of options.
I don't mind Juju or Myers. I think those are good bets right here.
You like Gerald Everett or you like Dalton Schultz? I know your rankings pretty much have them back to back.
I think I like Schultz better this year, just because Everett's got to compete with 4 other receivers and Eckler. I think it's just going to be not.
You know what? I'm committed to the 4 tight ends, and I drafted a rookie, so I'm going to take Schultz. Okay. Yeah, nice. I had 4 players in my queue, and they all are still there.
Nice.
The freaking 4 quarterbacks in a row before me. I had Jacoby. I had Schultz. I had a couple of running backs in there, Algier and Charbonnet. Rasheed Rice, yeah, man.
You don't seem too high on Bigsby, huh?
I mean, I think there's very similar bets between him and Charbonnet and Kendre. I mean, I probably wouldn't take Kendre just because he's got 2 guys that are drafted ahead of him.
Yeah.
I mean, what about Roshan? He's gotten some good bumps.
I've seen Deontay and Herbert more than I've seen him, to be honest.
On this board, I'm looking at the running back that went. Geez, where did he go? He went around 10. Still there. Your boy. Elijah Mitchell.
Yep, Elijah. Yeah. I think a Buffalo running back like Damian Harris. I mean,
there's a lot of running backs between Algier, Bigsby, Warren, Damian Harris, Elijah Mitchell, Charbonnet, Roshan. I mean, there's just a lot of running backs where you're like, they are probably an injury away, but they're all going to have roles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I think me and you both agree that James Cook is never going to be some in between the tackle grinder.
Yeah, I think one of those running backs will come back to me in the 12th round if I wanted them.
Right. Yeah, I think we might see some more tight ends come off here too.
You back in on Odell?
I don't mind him like in this range, 12, 13, 14. If I can get him there, sure, I'll take a shot.
I mean, one thing I've learned about best ball receivers, like if I'm in this range, I'm probably going after Tyler Boyd. I'm probably going after KJ Osborne, Josh Palmer. Like, I don't mind taking those guys a little bit later just because of the offenses. Like,
yeah, I either want, like you said, guys on good offenses, or I want the number 1 options on a team. So like a Juju, he's going to be their number 1, you know.
I mean,
Collins,
another guy that's getting slept on that had 2 guys that had really good years last year. Josh Palmer is one, obviously. But the other guy that's just sitting out there that people have just buried, I mean, round 14, Zay Jones.
Yep, yeah, they buried him.
I mean, it feels if you just hammered like Zay Jones, KJ Osborne, Tyler Boyd, Josh Palmer, you'd get 4 guys on top 6 offenses. You know what I mean?
Right. Another ones that always go this late. I mean, they haven't even gone yet. The Panthers wide receivers.
Yeah.
Nobody takes them. The only Panthers player who's even gone yet is Miles Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
Like and I think they're going to win the division. So they're obviously going to have some players that step up.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw those. There's just so many good receivers. I just went through and starred all the receivers I'm interested in the next, 5 rounds. There's 30 of them.
Yeah, I mean, I love Chark, Tyler Boyd. I mean, Gallup in that offense. Myers and Juju we've talked about. Darnell Mooney I like. Isaiah Hodgins, he's just different than all the receivers. The other one that goes in the very end is Hunter Renfrow. Nobody takes him anymore.
Yep. Shout out to Ruben. Yeah, it's pros are in the even spots and Joes are in the odd spots. So I don't know who's 111.
Yeah, wow, that guy only has 2 receivers. I just noticed that.
Actually, 111 was 111. Kendra Miller was NFL rough draft.
Oh, okay.
Old NFL rough draft. Yeah, there's just too many good receivers. Juju and Jacoby Myers I considered last round, but there's 5 running backs that I think have standalone roles. Mitchell, Warren, Algier, Charbonnet, Bigsby. I mean, if we're already taking Kendra Miller, I don't see why you don't take Charbonnet or Bigsby, you know?
Right. Yeah, I would love... Man, it's hard not to take Charbonnet here if he falls. Or Bigsby. But you do need some more receivers too. And you've been on Jacoby Myers for 2 rounds, so I think if he's there, that might be a lock.
Yeah, I've always had a soft spot for Jacoby Myers because he's good. He's good.
And the Raiders are going to have to throw because that defense is still piss poor. So, there goes Tank.
Yeah, it's just funny how some drafts the receivers are in that. It just the pace of how fast the receivers come off in some drafts versus others is wild. DPJ, I haven't heard anything about DPJ.
Yeah, I mean he's having a good camp. It's just
so's every single player.
Yeah, well, not every single player.
You heard anything about Cedric Tillman?
No, that's one I haven't heard anything about, to be honest.
You think that's a guy that's probably buried for the first year?
Probably, yeah. Outside of injury.
David Bell?
I've seen things where he might not even make the team, but I know Stefanski absolutely loves him, so I think they find a way to keep him. But I think Schwartz is gone. Marquise Goodwin, they might just pup or whatever for the first 6 weeks. So I want Myers.
Who's the second tight end to get? Is it Harrison or Akins?
I think it's still Harrison. But you know how it is Akins is so big, he'll play in the red zone packages, and he'll have 4 or 5 touchdowns just in the red zone.
Oh, sniped on Charbonnet.
And Myers.
Yeah, Myers I kind of expected not to fall, but well, I think Mitchell's in the mix. I think Algier in the mix as guys that are just going to have roles.
Right.
On good running teams. Who do you prefer between those two? Jalen Warren there, but I don't really want to handcuff.
I would probably prefer Mitchell.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Man. That is tough.
Yeah. For sure.
You know what? I'm going to gamble. I'm going to go Mitchell because he's slightly higher.
And maybe
I'm just going to go Mitchell just on a hunch. But I mean, it's literally you're betting on the same type of thing.
Right. Yeah, Myers and Charbonnet going there kind of sucked.
Yeah, those were my last two picks.
Yeah, that's another thing. I trust the offense more too.
Of course, that's coming from a San Fran fan, so that's not shocking.
Yeah, that's and president of River Craycraft's fan club.
Yep.
There goes Warren and Gerald Everett.
So construction-wise, 4 receivers, 2 quarterbacks. I'm done at QB. 2 tight ends. I probably need 2 more tight ends, and I'm probably at 2 more running backs. So we're looking at 2 running backs, 2 tight ends. That's going to put me 4 more spots, and then probably the rest receivers. So I'm looking at 6 running backs, 4 tight ends, 8 receivers, 2 QBs.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to, do I want to go 6 receivers? Do I want to go 5? That's where I think I'm in a little bit of a pickle. Yeah, after Algier went, I mean, now you're kind of into no man's land. I mean,
right.
You know who's still there? I hate taking them both, but I mean,
both Bears guys, Foreman and Roschon.
Yeah.
And the Bears are going to run the ball a lot because their pass protection is piss poor.
McGonigal, yeah, we covered the warp tool earlier. So it says 2 to 3 QBs, so I'm going to probably roll with 2. 3 to 4 tight ends, so I'm going to roll with 4. Receivers, it was almost 9, so I'm going to be probably close to that. Running backs, it was 5, so, 5 running backs, 9 receivers, so I'm going to try to hit 14 between those two. Just not sure if it's going to be 5 and 9 or 8 and 6. Yeah, Mostert and both Mostert and Jeff Wilson are sitting out there. Would you ever consider taking both, or not? Do I have too many Dolphins at this point? Because I do have Tyreek, Waddle, and Tua. That's a lot of Dolphins.
Yeah, and plus if Dalvin goes there too.
Oh God. Yeah, knowing that, I'll take Mostert and Wilson, and Dalvin goes there. That's exactly what'll happen.
Right.
Where are you at on taking like Zeke or Fournette?
Yeah, I don't mind taking a shot at those guys.
Like Zeke in round 13. If he signs somewhere, he's going to score. You got to figure if Zeke signs somewhere, he's scoring similar points to, I mean, Deontay Foreman and Devin Singletary, don't you think?
Yeah. That one's scary to me is Jawan Johnson. Don't you think he's just kind of like, I don't want to say buried, but they just signed Jimmy Graham. They still have Taysom Hill. They signed Foster Moreau.
Well, here's the other pick to consider here. He's the next tight end. If I want him, Dawson Knox.
He's your next one? Okay.
That's the next tight end off the board. I mean, look who just came off the board.
Right. I mean, I like Conklin better. I like Hayden Hurst better. Hunter Henry, Trey McBride.
Hunter Henry, I like. Conklin, I don't know about Conklin.
Rodgers always finds the tight ends, man. I think him and Conklin are going to do good together.
I do think I need another receiver here, though. I got to start hitting some receivers and good offenses. They're not going to be sexy, but like Tyler Boyd. I think Tyler Boyd is a good pick here, honestly.
Tyler Boyd, yeah. I like Chark, too. Lazard, Mooney. So you can go with any of those guys. They're all the same.
I think I'll just follow the offense.
Go Boyd.
Give me Boyd, yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Boyd there. I'm looking at 2 other boards. He went round 12 in both of them. So and behind a lot of the guys that or ahead of a lot of the guys that have already gotten taken.
Yeah, he goes really late in these best ball drafts. Like he's one injury away from being a weekly top 36 receiver.
I mean, he still's going to get 90 targets. I mean, what are you honestly getting out of Adam Thielen that you couldn't get from Tyler Boyd?
Exactly, I agree.
I mean, I hate to say it, but what are you getting out of Zay Jones that you're not getting out of Tyler Boyd?
Yeah, it's the same role, third receiver on the on a good offense. So yeah, I agree. And you got him cheaper than all the other guys.
Yeah, I like chasing those guys on those specific offenses.
Yep.
Well, there it is. Kirk Cousins and Matt Stafford. That's a nice stack there. He's got Kupp and he's got Hawkinson. See if that team triples up and goes Tannehill, stack with Treylon.
Yeah, I actually moved Tannehill up quite a bit on my rankings today.
I mean, you have to. If Derrick Henry stays healthy, they'll at least be able to be efficient like they did. I mean, their offensive line seems to be a concern.
Yeah, that's the major concern, but he still has Hopkins and Treylon to throw to.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think we've kind of put Tannehill out to dead, but
I mean, I think people just forget that how good Tannehill was.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, last year he wasn't good, but
no, I mean he was on par with Kirk Cousins efficiency wise, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you look at the since 2019 when he took over as a starter, like his efficiency's been top 10, and that includes last year. Now, obviously, that's weighted pretty heavily from the first 20 games of his career where he was just like top 3.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, it's gotten worse. But still, I think he's just kind of been unfairly buried.
Right.
And I really haven't heard anything about Levis or Malik Willis even getting close to challenging him. Like they're battling for the backup job, but I don't think there's even anything close to a threat for his job. You know what I mean? And people just projected, oh man, he's going to lose his job.
Right.
Let's see, 6 more picks, 7 more picks, 5 receivers. So I need 4 more receivers if I want to hit the 9. And there's some that I really, really like still.
Yeah.
Like it's like Marvin Mims. With Patrick going down, you got to move Marvin Mims up, don't you?
Yeah, that's one I actually didn't move up today.
Like I got to put Marvin Mims near the top. Like there's a chance he's better than Cortland Sutton, and you're getting him here.
Yeah.
Whereas like Rondale Roar and Romeo Dobbs went 3 rounds ago. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
one that you can get super late still that's getting some good buzz is Allen Robinson.
Yeah. That's another guy that was left for dead.
Yep. I still like Hodgins, Renfro. Richie James is the hot name right now. So, yeah, there's still some guys.
Yeah, I think I'm on KJ Osborne or Marvin Mims here.
I think I would push for DJ Chark, to be honest.
Interesting.
Over those guys. I think he's the number 1 there.
Even over the Vikings offense, you think so?
Yeah, I mean, it's KJ Osborne as the 4th option, or do you want DJ Chark as the 1st option?
I also got to. I mean, I got to seriously consider Knox if he's back. Locking up those Bills tight ends, I think that's something I got to consider.
Right.
I mean, Knox went in this last board I'm looking at right now. Draft number, I don't know, whatever one it was. July. Oh, last night's draft. Knox went in the 12th.
12th, okay.
Ahead of Komet. Ahead of Conklin. Right after Komet and Irv Smith.
Okay.
No, Reuben Hyatt didn't go.
No, he'd be a good one late for sure.
That's one of the other reasons why I'm like, if I can get Knox, I feel a lot more comfortable about my tight ends now because I'm just locking up the Bills tight ends.
Okay. I mean, there's so many wide receivers still that we all both like.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
So just lock it up now. Fuck it.
Yeah, I got 12 receivers right now on my queue.
This guy behind you's gonna snipe Knox for his 4th tight end.
Oh yeah.
But these guys all have 2 and 3, so that's good.
Bryce Young. All right.
That was my next quarterback off my list. So
I
Kyler's
should
still
get
sitting up there.
I should get Knox. I think the guy ahead of me will not
I
take
think
him.
so.
Yeah, Kyler. See, that's the thing is if I would have known how these QBs might have gone, I mean, at what point do you let Kyler go undrafted? Like this last draft last night, he went round 15, so he's probably going to go, but it just takes the right team to take him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like it on like the Mahomes team, where you can wait on them.
Mims or Knox?
I'd go Knox easy, just so it gives you that peace of mind that you wanted.
Everyone after me has 2 tight ends except for team 4. Yep, that made my decision easy.
Easy, yeah. There you go.
All right, that makes me feel a lot better about tight ends. I can throw Ferguson in there. Luke Musgrave I can throw in there. Otten, Mayer,
like
Hunter Henry,
McBride, Mayer.
Hayden Hurst. One of those guys will fall to the. One of those guys will fall to
honestly,
the
in best ball, you might as well throw Taysom Hill in there as your 4th tight end.
Oh God!
I mean, but if he gets those couple weeks that, he smashes like he has, he sounds like he's going to be the goal line back again. Like I know they have Jamal Williams, but that's what it sounds like, or at least be used as a receiving option.
You in on old John Mechie?
No, probably not. Wow, Roshan over Deontay. Interesting.
I should look at a couple running backs. I'm probably going to take at least one more. Foreman is still sitting there. That one sticks out to me.
Both Ravens guys are sitting out there, Gus and Melvin. If Dobbins holds out.
Gainwell?
Yep, Gainwell's still there too. Zamir White, if Jacobs keeps holding out, sounds like Jacobs is in for a long hold.
Uncle Lenny Fournette?
Yep, Uncle Lenny, left tackle Lenny.
Chase Brown?
Yep, Clyde. Jordan Mason's been getting a lot of hype.
Have you heard anything on Clyde?
I thought the only thing I saw was he got like the first carry of camp, but that's ever since then now. Lazard this late was a good pick.
Do you agree? Taysom's best ball cheat code?
He can be. I mean, if he's in there for 2-3 weeks for you, gets in your flex spot or even the tight end spot. I mean, I know it's gross, but it's best ball. Fuck it.
Well, I have 6 picks. 3 tight ends, 5 receivers, 4 running backs, 2 QBs. I'm done with QB. I'm going to take one more tight end, which, you know what? I don't hate the Taysom pick just for, yeah, the only problem is I have literally 9-10 tight ends on the list. No, 9 tight ends on the list that I can take.
I know you don't love handcuffing, but would you consider Ty Chandler? That's another one.
Would you go? I think I'd go Foreman over Ty Chandler.
Yeah, I would.
I think Foreman's one that I'm eyeing.
I'd probably go. Maybe one of the Ravens.
I'm good with the Ravens guys.
Okay.
I'm good with other Ravens guys because there's a couple guys I would take over them later, like Malik Davis.
One that I like for later on is Evan Hull.
You really like Evan Hall that much, though?
He's been getting a lot of buzz at camp. That he's looked really good. And Zach Moss just broke his arm.
But he doesn't catch passes, or he doesn't. They don't throw to the running backs, or we assume they don't.
True, but he can do it.
Yeah, agree.
So it's like Evan Hull or Deion Jackson. I think Evan Hull's more talented.
I'd agree.
Man, DJ Chark might fall back to you here.
Yeah. MVS is still out there, too.
Yeah, he's good for a best ball week or two.
Yeah, this draft I'm looking at, Mingo went 4 rounds ahead of Chark.
Yeah. Alec Pierce is a good like best ball type player too. But I just don't love that passing offense. Shahid.
No, I think it's more of the Richardson probably won't throw to running backs, but who knows? That's all speculating.
All right, you're up.
Oh man, well Chark's there, MVS is there, Donovan Peoples-Jones is there. I do need another receiver. There is a lot of receivers, but you know what? I'm gonna go Chark. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I mean he's been the best receiver at their camp so far. He's just been making plays every single day. I haven't heard a peep on Thielen, so Mingo, I haven't even really heard anything on Mingo either. So yeah, I think it's Chark is going to be the number 1 there, and you get him in round 15.
Yep.
Yep.
There it is.
On Tannehill. Yeah.
Tannehill. Got that 3 QB build, Cousins, Stafford, and Tannehill. Crusty, but 3 stacks. We'll see how that works out.
Yeah. It's a interesting strategy.
Pat Kerrane, he is going all in on Lamar Jackson. 1 QB. Unless he wants to take Sam Howell or Mac Jones or Desmond Ritter or Kyler.
Stroud, yeah, Mac. I mean, he could take Kyler once. Isn't the Ravens have a their bye's week 13, so he could just ride Lamar for the first month, and then hopefully Kyler comes back.
Wonder if he'll do it.
He'd have to do it now, I think.
He's got to take his. I think he's got to take his second QB if he wants one here.
Hurst, that's a good pick.
Start eyeing the running. Once I take a tight end, I can punt. I do like Jalen Hyatt still sitting down there.
Yeah, Jalen Hyatt. Yep, that's another one I like. You mentioned Palmer earlier, Josh Palmer.
I got him in the queue. I'm totally fine rolling with like a Hyatt, Renfro, Palmer as my last 3 receivers.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
And you think Justin Ross is worth picking? Not, or you haven't seen enough to for sure he's even going to make the team.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading a thing that, yeah, he's doing good and stuff, but like he still has an uphill battle to even make the team. Cause
do you think he's a guy they'd be able to sneak on the taxi, or do you think someone else would claim him?
Ooh, that guy sniped Kyler from him.
Yep, had to get his 3rd QB with Kyler. Mike Lucine smashed that Kyler in front of Pat Kerrane. That probably tilted him.
Yeah. What was your question again? I'm sorry.
Do you think that Oh, I lost my train of thought on it.
Yes.
What was it? Oh, Justin Ross.
Oh yeah.
Do you think another team would claim him, or do you think they'd let the Chiefs stash him?
They'd probably claim him. Yeah.
Man, he might have wanted Kyler Murray there. He's taken a while to make this pick. He's probably going to have to get tilted and take C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
Hunter Henry, okay. Okay.
Gives him a little extra time to think about it.
Surprised he didn't go Isaiah Likely over Hunter Henry.
He might go Mac Jones here and get the Hunter Henry Mac Jones stack. And
boy, that's how you win a league at the end, right? Mac Jones, Hunter Henry. I mean, at this point, would you just wait and take Baker Mayfield or something like that? You're already kind of screwed.
Nah.
I mean, Howell, Stroud, Mac Jones, Jimmy G, Baker, and Ritter. Those are the only 6 starters left. Do any of those guys have top 20 upside?
No.
People think Sam Howell has top 12 upside. I think they're delusional.
Yeah, they're delusional. I think if anyone, it would be Stroud. Like, if Stroud just, like...
is just really good.
Monster.
Nope, he punted. He just said, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to get whatever dog shit QB comes back to me in the last round.
Yeah, I mean, Stroud's got a really good offensive line in front of him. I mean, he has enough options as a receiver, so it's possible.
Yeah, I know that I already took a couple receivers, but I think if he falls back to me, I think I got to consider Peoples Jones. If you think Watson's good, I mean, how do you not take him if you're taking Chark?
Right. No, I agree with that.
Ruben thinks Howe has tremendous upside.
How be trash.
I mean, honestly, if you were faced, I mean, because you have to have two QBs, especially going in with Lamar as your only QB. Like that's risky. I get it. You're trying to win the tournament, but Stroud, Howe, Mac Jones, Jimmy G, Desmond Ritter, Baker Mayfield. Which of those 6 would you take if you're literally trying to hit a top 18 finish?
Right.
Which one?
What was the options again?
It's Stroud, Howe, Mac, Jimmy G, Desmond Ritter, Baker Mayfield. Like probably Stroud's the only one you think could just be like he's like a Burrow or Herbert good right away, and he's just good.
Right.
So, I mean, still he's going to struggle to finish top 20, but
right.
I mean, I don't think Jimmy G has a lot of fantasy upside.
No.
I haven't seen one good thing about Desmond Ritter.
No, me either. His accuracy sucks. So I think for here, I think the tight ends, I'm only seeing like maybe 3 or 4 that I even like left.
And I'm fine waiting and getting a 4th one. I'm fine waiting and getting.
Okay,
I mean, I could go Taysom Hill or Jalen Hyatt. Where would you go?
I think I'd gamble at maybe Taysom Hill could fall back another round. So I'd be fine with going Jalen Hyatt here.
Yeah, I like that Hyatt pick. Ferguson, all right.
Yeah, that was one of the ones I liked.
I have Ferguson, Cade Otton, Noah Fant, Taysom Hill, Isaiah Likely. Those are the 5 I have on the list.
Yeah, Jelani Woods, I'd probably maybe throw on the bottom.
You can miss me with Jelani Woods. I'm good there.
Zach Ertz.
No.
Okay.
Nope. I mean, everybody in front of me has 2, except for JJ. He's up right now. I'm guessing he probably takes one.
Right. Yep, Jelani Woods. That Colts tight end room is going to be interesting because they literally have 5.
You were telling me Ogletree was getting some good reps, and we left him for dead after he tore his ACL, and they drafted another guy. Yeah. And I see Will Mallory's injured, so it sounds like you were saying you think he's going to redshirt.
Mallory just came back today, but he's going to have a uphill climb because he's got Cox in front of him. He's got Granson. He's got Ogletree. He's got Jelani. So they literally have 5 tight ends. I'm guessing they're going to keep 4, but.
Well, I remember the early reports where Granson might be the guy that's on his way out because he's different than the other ones. But I mean, they drafted Ogletree and Will Mallory late, and they were clearly just Raz picks.
Yeah,
and then obviously Jelani. So I don't see them
Granson. Frank Reich loved that was his guy. So
it probably comes down to Ogletree or Granson. One of those guys gets cut, I would guess.
Right, and they've been using Ogletree on first team. Granson's been on first team. I would just personally cut Mo Alley Cox, but
they just go with all the young guys.
Yeah,
that's what the dynasty managers would do.
Right.
I do need to get another running back, so that's
okay.
Honestly, I mean, yeah, Chase Brown, Malik Davis, Ty Chandler.
Fournette.
I mean, I don't hate it, but I mean Fournette and Kareem Hunt sitting out there. All I need them. The only thing is I'm gonna have 2 running backs that are free agents.
Right. I mean, you gotta think they gotta sign somewhere.
Well, and I think the other thing is a guy like Fournette or Hunt, if they play, there's a chance they don't play till somebody needs them for an even bigger role than what they have right now. You know what I mean? Like I can see why they don't want to sign right now. What's the point?
Right. Yeah, they're waiting for the injuries. And they haven't hit yet.
Barry, I had to make up for all the shit you've given me in this draft. You like that Hyatt pick, huh? I love how the team on the end don't even need a quarterback. He's got Hurts and Goff, and he just takes Sam Howell.
Well, he has McLaurin, so I guess that's his reasoning.
Yeah, but if you go Hurts and Goff, why are you taking a third?
Right.
Just to piss the team at the end that doesn't have only has one.
Right.
There goes likely.
Yeah.
It's gross, but you know what? I'm going to consider Taysom Hill if he comes back.
Yeah. Because he has the most upside to actually play in your your lineup. Like, I don't even think Noah Fant has that but big of a chance to make your lineup ever. Maybe like
he's
twice.
He's a fourth tight end, and all I need is what, 1 or 2 weeks.
Yeah, to have him even mean anything on your team. Like, if he just scores 2 goal line touchdowns, he's in your lineup.
Yeah, you're right. Well, this team only has 2 tight ends, but they have Kelsey. The next team has 2, and everyone's got 2. So we'll see.
Yeah,
have to thread the needle here. That one avoided. Gus Edwards.
Not somebody you were looking at, so that's good.
See, that guy needed his third QB. Got to take CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
Kate Otten. All right.
There you go. One more pick. And this guy has 3. There you
Desmond
go.
Ritter. God, they're literally going to eat every starter up. You know what I should do? I should just take a fucking quarterback. Mac Jones, Jimmy G, and Baker are the only 3 left.
None of them would help you. I would go Taysom.
I know they're not going to help me.
Yeah.
It would be hilarious though if
they just left him with Lamar, and that was it. He'd have to draft like Huntley.
Steve, I'm gonna show you the warp, buddy. You're not wrong. There you go. 4 tight ends, 3 quarterbacks. Your argument is not incorrect. Justin Ross.
Yeah, Renfro too. I'm surprised Richie James hasn't gone yet.
He's on my list.
He's been getting a bunch of hype.
I mean, you get down in this range, you get down into the receivers, you're hoping for 1 or 2 games. Like,
there's another one that's standing out, McCole Hardman.
Yep. Tank Dell,
yep. Josh Downs, maybe. Marvin Jones, maybe. That was Ty Chandler.
Interesting. Post that for me, Steve. All right, here we go. Which QB is Pat going to take? Is he going to go Mac Jones, Jimmy G, or Baker?
He might. He just took Mayer and Henry. He might double up and take them both.
Oh, God. But I don't know if he does that, man. He's only got 6 receivers, and 2 of them are Rashad Bateman and Kadarius Toney.
Yeah. I'm going to laugh when Mike takes a 4th quarterback.
Nope.
I took Paris Campbell.
It's got to do it, right?
Yeah,
see, normally I would say he shouldn't do it because are people really going to take Mac Jones and Jimmy G? But somebody will be like, oh, a quarterback. Sure, I'll just take my 3rd. Didn't plan on it, but I don't know who else to take.
I think he gives one of them, but I wouldn't be shocked if he went Mac and Garoppolo since he just took Henry and Mayer.
Eric Theo says Mike White. Give your info on. He clearly didn't listen to Eric's pod where he says it's Skylar Thompson is the backup, right?
Yeah, Skylar's been the best at camp so far. So, and he's been playing ahead of White, I think.
Here we go. He's coming down to the wire. 15 seconds. Who is it going to be? This is the BBM. This is the BBM champ right here, Mac Jones. And Mac Jones, warp-wise, is probably down here. Where was he last year? Probably fucking terrible.
I hope he was
Right there,
I
26.
I hope he was above Blaine Gabbert. Holy shit.
He might go Jimmy G, honestly.
Oh, you know would be a good one here for you? Khalil Shakir with Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Malik Davis is still out there.
Yeah, Malik, I like him. Keontae Ingram, like him. Josh Kelly. Fournette's still sticking out like a sore thumb. And the one that I can't quit, and I can't get it out of my head, is Kyron Williams. Just that Adam Schefter tweet from last year that they were going to use him heavily.
Look at that stack.
Holy crap. I would have took Tyquan Thornton before I took Parker. But yeah, that tweet from last year about
Kyron was the starter before he got hurt.
Yeah. Like, I just don't think that goes away.
Yeah. And they clearly don't like Cam Akers.
Right.
I mean, at least he's not like they're building
They're
around
not giving him a second contract. They're just going to run him into the ground and send him on his way.
Right. I agree.
So Fournette, Chase Brown.
Nah, Theo, man, this is best ball. I'm not taking backup quarterbacks. I think you're just wasting picks. Lenny just went. Yeah. Kareem, he's still there. I got Kareem Hunt and Malik Davis as the two running backs I have in the queue right now.
I still like Melvin Gordon, too. They didn't pay him $3.1 million to sit on the sidelines.
You like Zach Evans?
I would rather have Melvin, I think.
Team 11 has two tight ends, Pitts and Musgrave.
Interesting. I mean, Shakir, like I said, to go with your guys. Richie James. But if you want a running back, I don't blame you here either. Get your last running back out of the way.
Malik.
Yeah, Malik.
It's Malik and Kareem Hunt. It's just risky. Does Kareem Hunt sign? Kareem Hunt, I think, has a better shot of going somewhere with a bigger role. You know what I mean?
Right. I think I'd go Malik. If you're going between those two.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
All right, so then you're just going to take two more receivers?
Yeah, so I'm at 4 tight ends, 2 quarterbacks. Technically, I'm at 7 receivers. So it's really, do I want to go 9 receivers and 5 running backs or 8 receivers and 6 running backs? I guess the one question for me is, given it's best ball, everybody else is stretched thin at running back too. You know what I mean? Like it isn't like everyone else has the option of picking the right running back. So me over insuring with an extra running back. I'm curious, Barry, if you're still here, what do you think? 8-6 or 9-5? I think based on the warp, I'd lean receivers just because everyone else is going to be boxed in at the same argument with running backs as I am. You know what I mean? No one else is going to be able. Everyone else has to pick right at running backs too. So
if I have to pick 2 receivers here as my favorites, I think I'm going Palmer and Allen Robinson.
I have Palmer on the list. That's definitely going to be one of them unless I get sniped. Good offense.
Yeah.
I mean, I could go Palmer and Slayton. Slayton and Hyatt gives me 2 pieces of the Giants.
True, yeah.
You like Robinson over Slayton?
Yeah. I mean, Slayton was pretty good last year at times. I give him that. There's just so many guys there.
So let me check on these guys. Are they doing seeing if they're doing the HFSF or SFF, because Farrell's on there. I haven't talked to Farrell in a while. I might jump on there. Let me see if they're still streaming.
I know someone in your DNC chat mentioned they were in Pat Crane's chat or live stream, and they were talking about the Gabe Davis pick when he made it live.
Mm.
Terrace Marshall. Josh Downs. There goes Slayton. So Josh Palmer's the pick here.
Yeah, if he comes back to me, probably. Yep, Kareem Hunt. One more pick.
Oh,
Tank Dell.
Good pick.
All right, I will go Josh Palmer. And I think I'm going to jump on with Farrell for a minute. So I'm going to shut this off.
Okay.
And appreciate everybody that stopped by. This was fun. Appreciate you coming on. Thanks for taking the time, buddy.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, everyone. I'll post the board later.
Allen Robinson's my last pick, if that's who I'm rooting for.
Yeah, I have 4 receivers in the queue. So I'll surprise everybody. Be chill, everyone. Thanks.